The present is theirs, the future, for which I really worked, is mine. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Our virtues and our failings are inseparable, like force and matter. When they separate, man is no more. The scientists of today think deeply instead of clearly. One must be sane to think clearly, but one can think deeply and be quite insane. Be alone, that is the secret of invention. Be alone, that is when ideas are born. I don't care that they stole my idea. I care that they don't have any of their own. The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in 1 decade than in all the previous centuries of its existence. Of all things, I liked books best. Life is and will ever remain an equation incapable of solution, but it contains certain known factors. Peace can only come as a natural consequence of universal enlightenment. My brain is only a receiver. In the universe there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength and inspiration. Invention is the most important product of man's creative brain. The ultimate purpose is the complete mastery of mind over the material world, the harnessing of human nature to human needs. The desire that guides me in all I do is the desire to harness the forces of nature to the service of mankind. The gift of mental power comes from God, divine being, and if we concentrate our minds on that truth, we become in tune with this great power. It's not the love you make. It's the love you give. One must be sane to think clearly, but one can think deeply and be quite insane. The individual is ephemeral, races and nations come and pass away, but man remains. Most persons are so absorbed in the contemplation of the outside world that they are wholly oblivious to what is passing on within themselves. The spread of civilization may be likened to a fire, first, a feeble spark, next a flickering flame, then a mighty blaze, ever increasing in speed and power. The opinion of the world does not affect me. I have placed as the real values in my life what follows when I am dead. Intuition is something that is ahead of accurate knowledge. We crave for new sensations but soon become indifferent to them. The wonders of yesterday are today common occurrences. It is not in the shallow physical imitation of men that women will assert first their equality and later their superiority, but in the awakening of the intellect of women. If your hate could be turned into electricity, it would light up the whole world. Every living being is an engine geared to the wheelwork of the universe. The progressive development of man is vitally dependent on invention. It is the most important product of his creative brain. Let the future tell the truth, and evaluate each one according to his work and accomplishments. The present is theirs, the future, for which I really worked, is mine. There is something within me that might be illusion, as it is often case with young delighted people, but if I would be fortunate to achieve some of my ideals, it would be on the benefit of mankind. We are all one. Only egos, beliefs, and fears separate us. The human brain is a most extraordinary organ. It produces a number of different forms of intelligence, many of which are completely unknown to us. Though free to think and act, we are held together, like the stars in the firmament, with ties inseparable. These ties cannot be seen, but we can feel them. My method is different. I do not rush into actual work. When I get an idea, I start at once building it up in my imagination and make improvements and operate the device in my mind. The scientists of today have substituted mathematics for experiments, and they wander off through equation after equation, and eventually build a structure which has no relation to reality. It is not the love you make. It is the love you give. All that was great in the past was ridiculed, condemned, combated, suppressed, only to emerge all the more powerfully, all the more triumphantly from the struggle. The future will show whether my foresight is as accurate now as it has proved heretofore. As I review the events of my past life, I realize how subtle are the influences that shape our destinies. The last 29 days of the month are the hardest. In the 21st century, the robot will take the place which slave labor occupied in ancient civilization. Inventors seldom work under the laws of mathematics. They do their own mathematics. The history of science shows that theories are perishable. With every new truth that is revealed, we get a better understanding of nature, and our conceptions and views are modified. The hard work of the future will be pushing buttons. We have to evolve means for making the assembly of the workers easy and their labor attractive, so that no worker will be anxious to leave the assembly line for other occupation. In my youth, I suffered from a disease almost as grievous as that of the compulsive gambler. I loved to play, especially at cards. Of all the frictional resistances, the one that most retards human movement is ignorance, what Buddha called the greatest evil in the world. If we only knew the magnificence of the numbers 3, 6 and 9, then we would have the key to the universe. The spread of civilization may be likened to a fire, first a feeble spark, next a flickering flame, then a mighty blaze, ever increasing in speed and power. We build but to tear down. Most of our work and resource is squandered. It is paradoxical, yet true, to say, that the more we know, the more ignorant we become in the absolute sense, for it is only through enlightenment that we become conscious of our limitations. If your hate could be turned into electricity, it would light up the whole world.